So, welcome back to the Dunwoody Dialogues. Here we chat with local Dunwoody celebrities or people that are making a difference in our community. I am Mark Galvin. I'm the Director of Marketing for Discover Dunwoody. And we have, like all of our shows, another great guest for you today. Today we have Rachel Frawley. Rachel, welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
So good of you to make some time to come spend some quality time with us here in Dunwoody.
Oh, pleasure.
Well, and we're sitting, you can see we're in a theater. We're actually on location at Stage Door, and we're so happy to sit with Rachel, who is presenting the next show, and there's some pieces of this, so let me do a little more intro here. There's a show coming up here at Stage Door called Mad Hatterpillar.
The Mad Hatterpillar and Her Many Heads.
And you're the director, among other things. Share with everybody, what have you done for this?
For this show, I am the director. I wrote book and lyrics. Sara Beth Hester is our music composer, and together we are co-producers of the sort of development of the piece.
I love that. And I found out from Rachel that she does a lot of other things besides just this specific show. One of them is you're managing director of Piccadilly Puppets, and that's your own venture. What do you do there?
Yeah, I'm our artistic and managing director, so I sort of shape the vision of the company. I am the sole staff administrator, and I also perform for them.
So you are a one-stop shop.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
Like.
We have other puppeteers in our employ, but yes, we'll do it all for you.
I love that. You also you've written scripts, as you have for Mad Hatterpillar, and you like doing things with children, with young people. Why are young people a focus for you?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that they're a sole focus, but they have become such a rich audience for me. Because I sort of don't see too much distinction between the audiences of children versus adult, in that we all want that story that we resonate with on kind of a heart level. And I think people sometimes underestimate the capacity of children to engage in challenging material. So I have a lot of history as a teaching artist in Atlanta, as well as I've directed some children's plays, and I just think they have such a capacity to engage in the imagination and make really brave choices, and they kind of embody the possibility that puppets also bring to the table.
I think that's so cool. And before we started taping, you and I had a long conversation, and it's really interesting. One of the things you shared, what I really liked, is that this particular show really speaks to children and the challenges that young people go through. Share with everybody a little bit of that story.
Yeah, so it draws its inspiration directly from nature. The Mad Hatterpillar is an actual caterpillar that actually stacks the exoskeletons of its molted heads.
So wait a minute, wait.
Sure.
So
Too much.
The Mad Hatterpillar is a real kind of caterpillar. So
it is indeed.
Okay.
Yeah, Uraba lugens, gum skeletonizer moth is another word for its fully realized form. But it is an actual caterpillar, and it's so bizarre and weird, and I came across an article for it, and it just seems so rich in symbolism for kind of the messiness and the pain and the expectations versus reality of coming of age. So I thought this is a great children's story.
And I love that. I see the pull through of a and I'm going to say caterpillar, but a hatterpillar. It starts off as one kind of being, and then they turn into another.
Yeah.
And so that transition point, I think, is really interesting. Well, I do think that is the star actually over here?
Yes, this is our hero, Maddie, the Mad Hatterpillar. This is as she appears in the beginning of the show before she starts her transformative process of molting new heads, which are all characters in the show as well.
So they literally molt
Yeah.
different beings? These are live heads?
For us, they are embodied by character. In the scientific reality, they are just exoskeletons of previous molts, and it's a defense mechanism in nature.
Oh, so fascinating. Yeah. Okay, then who do we have on your side?
Over here, we have Busy Bee, another character in the show, a lovely rod puppet. And all of our puppets are rod and shadow puppets, and we work in full view manipulation, which means you will see the character the puppet and the puppeteer.
So this isn't a kind of puppet show that is, you got a board. Well, everybody I'm thinking of Sesame Street. They're all hidden. So you'll be able to see the person.
You will.
In their full form. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Why that versus something that I'm going to call it more traditional?
It's funny. It wasn't on purpose to start.
Okay.
We started with a stripped bear incubator project with Synchronicity Theater, which meant you have, however long to basically do a proof of concept of your show.
Okay.
But no lights, no sound, no tech. And as we were developing and workshopping the puppets, we found that it was so engaging to watch the puppeteer kind of become the puppet and have that kind of real-time exploration of it with the audience.
That's really interesting.
So it's something we kept because it really worked for our show, it worked for the storytelling, and it's been incredibly fun to play with.
So, as an actor, and this is certainly, even the puppeteer in this case is certainly an actor, do they express emotion in their own face? Is there acting with the puppet?
And that is, there are varying schools of thoughts on that. A lot of puppeteers like to kind of disappear fully and let the puppet express. Our puppeteers, you will see them express emotions. The focus will be thrown to the puppet. So puppeteers will be looking at the puppet rather than at the audience, but you will see them engaging in the emotions as well.
I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I love that. I think this is really fascinating that this is a puppet show, but it sounds like a very adult take at it. And there's so many shows out there that I have seen that were designed for children that I absolutely loved because they had a strong adult element. Does this presentation have the same thing?
Absolutely. This is another moment where we wrote the story just as the voice of it sounded most honest, which turns out speaks very well to children and also to not only the child in all of us, but adults have found it really engaging as well. If you read the script as is, there's a lot of darkness to it, and the puppets allow us to really lift up those moments of darkness, engage in them in a safe way, and play. So there's a little something for everybody, and certainly the comedy.
I love that. Oh, and so you get to laugh a little bit.
Oh, 100%. We're laughing all the time.
So we've talked a lot about Mad Hatterpillar, probably faster than we had talked about before we started taping.
Sure.
But you're a full-time actor. This is your gig. How do you pay the bills as an actor?
That's a great question. And for me, and a lot of people certainly in this city, the answer is it's almost impossible to pay your bills as a full-time actor. There's got to be something to keep you going through. I'm lucky enough that my day job is in the arts and in performance and administration in the arts.
Versus serving at a restaurant.
Sure, which I have done plenty of.
Yeah, you're good at that too, huh?
Yeah, but it's, I've found a way to support myself by diversifying my resume.
Okay.
I'm engaging in directing, intimacy choreography, stage combat, writing, producing, acting, which are all things that really I like to work in a multifaceted way to tell a story.
Right.
But finding the things that can keep you from not being able to pay the bills while also giving you the time to engage in your art is a constant challenge and a constant struggle. And certainly has not been a struggle that's put to bed for me. Yeah,
I can see that. I would simply say that there's so many people that look at entertainers and think, oh wow, they're making so much money, they're doing so well. And that, I'm guessing it's a very small percentage.
A tiny percentage, a tiny percentage.
So I would urge all of you, support your any of the arts out there, because these are folks that are devoted to the different mediums. It's not just one, right? And I would support them any way you can, and pay whatever top dollar it is to go see those folks, because they need your help. And we want this. This is something else, right?
Yeah.
Well, what do we do? We just wrapped up the holidays, and I guarantee you most people saw a Christmas movie because
100%.
because it does help us express or touch some emotions and do something with people we love.
Well, it's a highly consumable career. You know, we engage in it in so many ways. The movies we watch, plays, certainly live performances we go to, but even like playing video games. There are voice actors. There are so many artists that lend their voice and talents to so many parts of our day.
Wow,
right?
sure.
But yet we still get the question in society, well, what's your real job? It is a real job, and it's something that we need to support as much as we consume.
Well, hopefully it's a real job, right? Hopefully you can pay the bills and do this. So I think we kind of hit on this, but I want to make sure we don't miss anything. If I ran into a Dunwoodian out at lunch and one of my favorite lunch restaurants, let's say, what should I say to them to say, you should come see the Mad Hatterpillar? What do you think would be the good punch?
You know, I think especially if you have not engaged much in live puppetry before, this is an incredible show to do it with.
Wow.
And I think a lot of, especially adults, would be surprised at the instant connection that you make with puppets on stage. It allows us to break so many rules. It really frees us from the constraints of expectation and cynicism that we subconsciously apply when we see humans on stage. It just has that element of something more that can really engage the imagination.
So that's really interesting. And I'd love to explore that a little bit if you don't mind, that people engage with puppets different than they do humans.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I think there's a certain freedom to it.
Okay.
It's something that I have seen and has been explored, and studied a lot in education. Children who struggle to express themselves, or even children who struggle to be verbal around adult humans or even other peers, are able to feel safe and free with puppets. There's a lack of judgment, I think, for all people who engage with puppets, and also there's that possibility to relate instantly to it, to project anything you need to onto it. It's just a really kind of magical thing to experience.
Is magical.
Yeah.
That's a great word for it, I think. Magical, I like that. Well, let's talk about the puppets.
Yeah.
You wrote this, so you wrote this script, and so Sara Beth Hester was co-creator, but what was her role in the co-creation?
So we've worked as a team throughout the development of this whole process. I came to Sara Beth and was kind of just talking as a friend about this idea I had, the Mad Hatterpillar, how I wanted to make it a live stage play, how I thought it would probably be a children's musical. And Sara Beth was the impetus. She said, well, this needs to be told through puppets.
Oh, I love this. Let's do it.
Yeah. So Sara Beth has designed and built our lovely rod puppets, which are all of the full-size puppets you see here.
Okay.
I designed and built a lot of the shadow puppets, and we've really worked together.
So a rod puppet, to me, makes sense. It's just you hold it, it's on a rod.
rods,
Okay.
yeah.
What's a shadow puppet?
A shadow puppet is very much like what it sounds like. So we have a shadow screen and actually various ways of portraying shadows on the stage. So we have certain characters like the gardener.
So wait, hold on. So a shadow puppet, literally, there's a light behind them, and you put your hands or whatever. I'm saying hands. There's
I mean, we've all seen these guys, right?
Yeah,
The little,
So that's what we're talking about.
Yes, but we're using actual designed puppets
that's so
through
cool.
cardboard and other materials. We're exploring projector, like an overhead projector. There are a lot of ways that mechanically you can make the shadow puppets come to life. Yeah. So that's another aspect of the show.
So did you make the puppets yourself?
Sara Beth built all the puppets. I helped put some muslin on there and helped with some of the painting.
Okay.
And I cut out the shadow puppets over a large amount of time.
Well, you can't see this here, but so the main character over here is made of corrugated cardboard.
Yes.
The body, the way it's shaped.
This is kind of an important part of our show is our puppets align a lot with Sara Beth's personal philosophy of building puppets, which is that they're all from repurposed, recycled trash, essentially.
Wow.
To kind of encourage looking at your trash in a different way. And
see something new in your trash.
yeah, and also, to a lot of the themes of this show align well with conservation and care of our ecosystem.
So nice.
So this is kind of a way that we could really put our money where our mouths are, and bring the show to life in a sustainable way.
Oh, I think that's great. So when you guys were working on the puppets, do you have to draw them out? Is there a stage where you draw a picture and then you kind of have to figure out how to build? Because I think as a non-artist, proportion is hard, right?
Sure.
So, you know, to make things the right size in proportion to the other ones, and one puppet has to be in proportion to the other puppets, that's got to be difficult.
Certainly, there's a lot of engineering that goes into it, and I wish Sara Beth was here to talk about their personal process. But once you design the puppet, then you have to determine what kind of puppet will best tell this story.
Wow.
And then how can we practically assemble the materials and engineer it to come to life.
So not easy to put all these together. That's what I hear. And to tell the story and tell it effectively, I think all of that is, back to the word you used before, it's really magic.
Yeah, the final project is very magic. The process is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Oh, I love that. I think that's fantastic. So when does the show run?
The show runs the last weekend of January and the first 2 weekends of February, Friday through Sunday, Friday and Saturday at 7:30. 7, my gosh, thank you, Justin. and matinees at 2:30 on Sunday.
Okay. And where can people buy tickets?
At stagedoortheaterga.com or by calling the box office, org. Let me give you another one for that.
Yeah, that's right.
At stagedoortheaterga.org.
So we will put that in the show notes without a doubt, as well as links and information about all of the productions that are going on here at Stage Door. Well, Rachel, I love this, and I love what you're doing. Quite honestly, when we came over here to sit down, we knew we were going to talk to someone about the next production. I didn't realize that it was going to be that it was puppets, and so this is absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to see it.
Oh, thank you so much.
So thanks for the time. So good to see you, and I appreciate you chatting with us today. Oh, I forgot something.
Yeah.
You do other things besides your work here at Stage Door.
Oh, certainly.
Where can people find out more information about, and I want to make sure I say it right, it is the Piccadilly Puppets.
Oh yeah, if you want to find Piccadilly Puppets, you can go to piccadillypuppets.org. You can find us on Instagram at Piccadilly Puppets ATL. And if you're looking for me, rachelfrawley.com or Rachel Frawley on Instagram.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time with us today. Now, for the rest of you folks, we love that you're watching us and continuing to tune into our series. I am Mark Galvin with Discover Dunwoody. This show is produced by Discover Dunwoody. And our producer is Madison Holtz. She's our and then our sound technician is Emily Inser Gibson. If you would like to get one of our now very, very famous Dunwoody stickers to put on your car, and do remind you that these are removable. We got really good material out of these. We will give you one. Just go to the library, which happens to be right behind me here, or City Hall. You can go to Sproul, or just go to the offices of Discover Dunwoody. We would be happy to give you a Dunwoody sticker. On behalf of the entire Discover Dunwoody team, thank you for watching. Be sure to follow us on social media. You can find us at Discover Dunwoody or on our website, discoverdunwoody.com. So until next time, enjoy the day and come discover Dunwoody.